Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I hope that your day is going well. Your weekend is off to a great start. It's always a gift to have an opportunity to hop on and chat it up with you guys a little bit. Hopefully, as you guys come into the live, you guys can drop a comment. Let me know who's tapping in with me. You can say good afternoon. You can say hello. You can give the thumbs up. Um, all that good stuff, just to let me know that you're rocking with me today. Um, I'm tapping into a familiar topic, one that I've been really going deep on lately, and it's about reinventing yourself. And why would a person have the need to reinvent themselves and what that means, right? A lot of times we get to a point in life where we want to be more and we need to be more. But we don't know how to be, right? We get stuck in the space right where we are. And there's a lot of reasons why we get stuck. And I'm going to focus on what I think is the main reason. Just through my experience and my journey, I've found myself in very peculiar situations as it pertains to wanting to grow and break out of a certain box and a certain stigma, wanting to change my identity and how people saw me and what that looked like. And so I think we all experience it in different points and times in life. Obviously, life, we go through stages. And in these different stages, we start to feel the need to be more. And that's where reinventing yourself comes in, right? Um, Looking at who you are and deciding, hey, I want to be more than this. And I know that me changing who I am is going to affect the people around me. Right. And so, one of the big things that I really want to touch on today is the reason why more people don't step out of that box and reinvent themselves and create the life they want. And the main reason is, and people talk about this all the time, by the way, uh, fear, right? People talk about fear so much that they forget to include what the antidote is, right? What is the antidote to fear, right? And so a lot of times we are afraid, very afraid to change what we've been doing, changing our behavior, changing how we address people and how we allow people to address us, because we don't want any conflict, right? And so we don't want to feel a negative experience. And so we don't access the opportunity to reinvent ourselves and create the person that we really want to be. And so, what is the antidote to fear? Well, the antidote to fear is courage, right? And so you don't have, because the conversation is always, hey, stop being afraid, right? Don't be fearful. Um, but that's the wrong conversation. That's not the right conversation. The right conversation is it's okay to be afraid, right? It's okay to feel fear, but now you need to be courageous, right? You need to add some courage to the situation because that's what neutralizes the fear, right? The fear may never go away, but the courage neutralizes it and it allows you to do things boldly, things that you wouldn't do, right? Um, I think about before I got to college, right? And so, just quick background: I played basketball in high school. Had big aspirations to play basketball in the NBA. And when I got out of high school, there just wasn't any scholarships for me, wasn't any opportunities for me. And so I ended up working at Walmart. But through that process, I had to build up some courage to change my situation, right? And if I never build up that courage to change my situation, I would never have the experiences I've had in life, and I would never be able to have this conversation with you guys to be able to talk specifically to how you overcome this fear that we all face, right? And so, because I started off in this space that I didn't want to be in, I had to be bold in the movements that I made. And so when I decided that I wanted to change everything, I changed everything. I bought a bus ticket. I changed the location where I was. I went to a college that I wasn't even enrolled in. I showed up, found my way to the gym, found my way onto the court, had a basically a tryout that was unofficial, and all of a sudden I'm in college, right? All of a sudden I'm in college, and not only am I in college, now I'm becoming a star, right? I'm becoming a basketball star on campus. And not only that, now I'm at this school where I earn a scholarship to a Division I college. Now I'm the team captain on a Division I college team, right? And not only that, I played 2 years at this college and end up becoming one of the top rebounders in the nation, averaging a double double. And so my life got so much better once I invoked the courage to start being who I knew I was. A lot of times we already know who we are. We already know deep down who we are, who we want to be, how we want to live, how we want to do things. We know for a fact, but that fear makes us suppress it, right? And so once I broke away from that, I had so many opportunities just start popping in, right? And so eventually I ended up on a Division I football team, right? And I ended up playing football for a semester, which was something that I was just doing to finish my college degree. Um, and all of a sudden, I have an NFL contract in front of me, right? And now I'm on an NFL team. And the next thing you know, I go to NFL Europe and win defensive MVP. And then I come back and I make the team at the Cleveland Browns. Then I'm there for a couple of years. The next thing you know, I get another offer from the Denver Broncos. And so once I realized that, I'm like, oh, it's okay to be afraid, but in conjunction with that, I have to invoke my courage. I have to be courageous out here. I have to be courageous out here. I have to go for the things I want. I have to go for the things I want. And this is just a very simplified version of like how to get there, right? You know who you want to be. You know how you want to have people engage you. You know the things you want to accomplish out of life. You know what you want to do, right? One of the biggest things that I see that people run into trouble with, especially as entrepreneurs. You know, I started off as an entrepreneur years ago and had to struggle and fail and figure things out and go through so many different cycles of entrepreneurship. But the main thing that I figured out was the reason why most people fail at entrepreneurship is very simple. They are afraid to offer and ask. They get too afraid to offer their products or their service, and they get too afraid to ask for what they want, right? That fear is the thing that negates their opportunity to be successful, right? They don't want to be disappointed. They don't want to be let down. They don't want to hear no. They don't want the door slammed in their face, right? And nobody does. But when you have courage and you have that boldness that comes with it, you don't mind asking for what you want, right? I always tell a story about my 7-year-old man. This kid is just a funny kid because he has no fear of asking for what he wants. Like, this is a rare ability. It doesn't matter what the situation is, right? It can be a person he never met before, don't even know. If it's something he wants, he's going to ask. And I always talk about that because that trait is so powerful. Like, we have to develop the shamelessness of asking for what we want. Just like my 7-year-old, he has no shame for asking. He's going to ask. Like they play sports, right? And you know how at the end of sports games, different teams, they have little snacks for the kids and all that stuff. He don't even have a game that day. He's gonna go around to every team asking for these snacks because that's just what he wants to do, right? He wants the snacks. He's gonna ask for the snacks, right? He has no fear. They say no. He's like, okay, and he just goes to the next. Like, his attitude do not change, right? He is shameless in asking for what he wants, and so this is a extremely valuable trait to us, right? We have to invoke this trait, right? We have to be able to ask for what we want in this world. Because if you don't ask, you can't receive. That's a fact. That is a natural fact. If you don't ask, you cannot receive, right? And so the point of it all is to make sure that we understand that we know that we're going to be afraid, we're going to be fearful. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be things that we don't want to do, but at the same time, we have to be courageous enough to do it, right? And when you start to really lean in into your courage, and you in that bag, now you know nothing can't hurt you. A no can't hurt you. Somebody not showing up and supporting you can't hurt you. Somebody who disagrees with your idea can't hurt you. Like nothing can't hurt you, right? Because courage is the thing that supersedes fear, right? It takes you further down the road, right? And so when you want to be something else, you want to be something more, you want to be something different than what you are right now, you have to tap into that courage bucket, right? I remember when I first got to the NFL, man, it was so crazy because I'm the least experienced person in football, right? I'm a basketball player, and I'm coming to play with the best athletes in the world, right? And so talking about afraid, I'm like, man, I don't even know how to get in a proper stance. I don't know these techniques. There's so many things I didn't know and didn't understand. And so I had to deal with fear every day, right? And fortunately for me, I had a great coach in Andre Patterson who just was so amazing at how he helped me understand how to go out and compete at the highest level against people who were first round draft picks, who was making millions and millions of dollars, who have been playing football since they were 6, 7 years old, right? And so he gave me a framework. It's like, listen, you don't have to be better than everybody out here. You just have to be willing to get better every single day. And you have to be okay with not looking great, right? You're not going to look great. Just know you're going to mess up a lot, right? And I think if we can come to terms with this in life and understand anytime we're taking on a new challenge, anytime we're doing something new or doing something for the first time, we're going to mess up a lot, right? We're going to make a lot of mistakes. That's just a part of the deal. That's what you sign up for when you decide to try something new. When you think about, if you take some time, and I want you guys to do this today, take some time and just sit down and think about all the talents you have, gifts you have, ideas you have, and just start writing that stuff down. Just start writing that stuff down just so you can see what's inside of you. Because sometimes we got to see what's inside of us. We got to see it on paper. We have to see it, right? And so just start writing that stuff down, your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your interests, the things you're great at, your ideas, your concepts. Just start writing those things down so you can see what's all inside of you. There's so much inside of us. There's so much inside of us, right? That even if we tried, we couldn't use it all. The problem is we don't even try, right? We do bare minimum stuff because fear keeps us in the bare minimum space, right? Fear keeps us where we don't want to be. That's why we think about the things we don't want more than we think about the things we do want, right? And it's just a simple concept. It's like, man, what do I want? How do I stay focused on what I want? Right. And the more you write out your ideas and your thoughts, and the more that you create a plan, right? The plan takes you to your vision, right? We'll have a vision, we'll have an idea, and we won't put a plan in place. And then if we put a plan in place, we don't follow the plan. We don't stick to the plan, right? We get tired, we get weary, right? We get discouraged. You have to commit to the plan, right? Once you know where you want to be, once you know who you want to be, once you know where you want to go, you got to stick to that strip, right? And so when I went from this guy that was a basketball player to NFL football player, I saw it clearly. Like my eyes became open. It's like, oh, it's nothing I can't have. There's nothing I can't do because I understand the concept of being courageous. I understand the concept of being willing to make mistakes. I remember before I went to NFL Europe, I didn't even want to go, right? I was like, man, I'm afraid, right? I'm like, man, I ain't never been out the country. I don't want to go to Europe to play football. Um, and at the time, the Cleveland Browns was allocating me over there. So they was like, nah, you got to go or you can't be on the team. So I'm like, okay, all right, I'm gonna go, right? And I remember they sent over, I want to say it was probably about 8 or 9 players from the Cleveland Browns that went over. And we all went over at the same time. But before we went over there, we had to like kind of train together and work out together. And I remember we would train and work out and all that stuff. And we would go in the locker room and we just have these conversations about just how we thought we were going to do over there and the goals that we had for ourselves. And I remember everyone's just sitting around talking, man, just having a good time, talking about how successful they want to be when they get to Europe. And I started talking about my goals. I was like, yeah, man, I want to lead my team in sacks. I want to win the defensive MVP of the league. And so I'm reeling off all of my goals. And these guys just started laughing, man. It was like, bro, what you talking about? You a basketball player, bro. You just learning football. Like, how you gonna come over here with all of these big goals and you don't even know football, right? And so I'll never remember. I mean, I'll never forget how I felt in that moment. And it wasn't discouraged. I was like, I've came from working at Walmart, found a way to college, ended up getting a D1 scholarship, ended up becoming one of the top rebounders in the nation, becoming team captain, leading my team, end up averaging a double double, end up playing a semester of college football on the Division 1 level, end up signing an NFL contract. I'm like, bro, they're only saying this and they're only laughing because they don't know me. They don't know who I really am. And that's how it is for a lot of you out here. Like, people don't really know who you are. They don't really know what's inside of you. They don't really know what you're capable of. They don't really know. And so you have to excuse them because they don't know. It's not their fault. I get it. You don't know me. It's not your fault. That's your mistake. It's not your fault, right? You just don't know me. That's okay. I don't have to get discouraged because someone made a mistake and said something they shouldn't have said just because they don't know really who I am. I'm the guy that do the thing regardless. And that's what we have to know about ourselves. And so I get to NFL Europe. You know, first 2 weeks I lead the league in sacks. Now I'm seeing guys that was laughing at me coming to me like, bro, how you doing this? By the end of the season, led my team to the World Bowl, led my team in sacks, end up winning the defensive MVP of the league. Right? Came back to the Cleveland Browns, made the team. It's not your fault that people don't know who you are and what's inside of you. People can only give you their perception of what they think you are. And that's okay. But you don't have to receive that, right? Like, you don't have to, all right, cool. That's who you think I am. I don't have a problem with that. But this keep watching. Keep paying attention. You'll learn about me. You'll learn about me, right? So you have to understand, like, people just don't know what's inside of you. And sometimes it's our fault because we've been hiding behind fear so long, right? And that's just a part of life. But once you awaken, once you realize, like, man, nah, like I ain't no chump. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the person to go get it done. I'm gonna go do what's necessary to do, and I'm gonna ask, and I'm gonna offer, and I'm gonna ask, and I'm gonna offer, and I'm gonna keep doing it until I get what I want. I'm gonna keep doing it until I get the things I know I deserve, right? But somehow, some way, you have to find a way to believe that you actually deserve it, right? Because if you think about it, why don't most people just invoke the courage? Be like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, right? It's because sometimes we don't believe we deserve to have it, or we don't believe we can have it. We don't believe we're the type of people that's supposed to have it, right? And in that case, not only do you need courage, now you need more belief. And how do you get more belief? How do you get more belief? You get more belief by doing things, by doing things you're afraid to do, by doing things you may not even think you can do. That's how you get more belief. I got more belief by getting on a bus, a Greyhound bus, going 2 days across the country, right? 2 days across the country. I had to get more belief because if I never got on that bus, right, that had the courage to get on that bus, I would have never knew. I would have never knew what I was capable of. I didn't have a ton of belief, but I had enough belief to get on the bus. I had enough belief in my talent, my ability, and what God gave me to go give myself a shot. Do you believe you deserve it? Do you believe you deserve the life you want? Right? Because people are out here shooting shots, man. They're taking their shots. They're putting shots up. And sometimes less talented, less skillful, less educated, but they got courage, right? They got courage. I talk to my kids about this all the time. All the time. Yeah, I was a good athlete. I ain't gonna hold you on that. I was a good athlete. And I'm a big person, 6'6", 6'7". I'm a big person. So I had some good things going for me. But that didn't stop the me from being in a situation where I didn't get any scholarship offers, right? So now I'm like, hey, I don't get no scholarship offers. Nobody checking for me. So I had to turn on the courage now, right? And so you just have to know, like, you are supposed to have it. You have to know that for yourself. If you don't know that for yourself, if you don't understand that for yourself, then you're gonna miss out on it. Absolutely. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I can't see your username. Definitely, just drop your name in the comments, please, because for some reason I can't see your username. Um, and then someone says, "Fake it until you, oh, fake it until you make it." Somebody said, "Fake it until you make it," which is really a interesting concept. And here's what I think about the concept of faking it till you make it. I don't think you can fake it, right? And here's what I mean by that. Here's what I mean by that. So I remember our coaches used to, like, we would be in like tour days, man. It used to be hot and we would be tired, and we just wanted to go home, man. It was like, man, I'm tired, I'm hot, I'm sore, my body's aching, man. I just want to go home. And the coaches will bring us before, say, before the last practice, we get together, they'll talk to us or whatever. And then the coach be like, man, listen, I need y'all to get excited. And we're like, man, we're not excited about this. And I'm gonna tell you what would happen. We will start like clapping and chanting and jumping up and down, right? Now we're trying to fake it, right? So this is very relevant to that point, right? We're trying to fake it, but the problem is when you're faking it, you actually have to be doing it, right? So now we're actually doing it, and all of a sudden now we are actually excited, right? And so it may feel like you're faking it, but you're actually doing it. And so the actions that it takes to be what you need to be is the thing that you're actually doing. And this is why I think that we can dismantle the imposter syndrome, right? Because you're actually doing it. Yeah, it's new. It may be fresh, it may be different, but you're actually taking those actions right now. You're actually doing those things right now, right? And so if you know that you're actually doing those things, then you're actually not faking, right? You're actually doing it. But you have to get over that feeling for yourself, right? You have to get over feeling like an imposter or feeling like, hey, man, I'm tricking people out here. No, I decided to be different today. I decided I wanted to be something else. I decided I want to be more, right? And the thing that people don't understand and people try to like downplay is like, oh, you pretending. No, I'm deciding to be something different because we all have different parts to ourselves. We behave different in different situations, right? When you're around your parents, you may behave different around your parents. When you at your kid's school, you may behave different at your kid's school. When you're at the gym working out, right? We have these different parts of ourselves. So we can decide who we want to be. We get to choose that. Like, no one gets to choose that for me, right? I get to choose who I want to be. And if we have the courage to make that choice, then we're going to have a happier life. We're going to have a better life. That doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect, right? Like, I run into challenges all the time, all the time. I have these things I be doing, and these projects I'm working on, and everything be going great. I'm like, man, I'm a beast. I'm killing it out here. And then all of a sudden, boom, something crazy happens. I'm like, oh my God, like, where did this come from? And so you're gonna always have challenges. Like that's just a part of the deal, man. Like we sign up for that. Like challenge it ain't a problem. It is what it is. Like now you just deal with the challenge, right? And so we don't have this idea of perfection. We just have being the best we can be, right? Being the best we can actually be. You know, my pops used to tell me all the time, man, like do your best. If you did your best, that's all that's required, right? And so we're required to give our best for ourselves first, right? If you give your best for yourself, then you're gonna be a happier person and you're gonna be better for other people, right? You're gonna be better for other people. And so we don't have to be confined to this identity that we've been given or that we created and put on ourselves or whatever it is. We don't have to be confined to that. We can be more, right? I have people hit me up all the time, and they hit me up like, man, bro, how you get like this? Right? Like how you get like I'm not talking about people that knew me before, right? They'll hit me up and be like, bro, how you get like this? What happened? Like you never used to be like this, right? But I understood something. A light bulb came on one day. I was like, I get to choose this. I get to choose the life I want. I get to choose who I want to be. I get to choose how I live this life, right? I don't have to be confined to someone's idea or to an identity that's outdated. I don't have to be stuck in that space. I just don't. I can choose something else. I can do something else. And I got the courage to do it. Like I said, I teach this to my kids, man. I tell them like the most important thing they can have is courage. The courage to speak up for yourself, the courage to ask for what you want, the courage to be yourself. If you don't like something, you don't have to pretend like you like it. If you don't want to do something, you don't have to pretend like you want to do it. If you don't want to go somewhere, you don't have to pretend like you want to go somewhere. Like being a strong human being, standing on what you stand on. Like, no, that's not for me. No, I'm cool on that. No, I don't want that. I want this. I want to do that. I want to go here. I want to be that. Right? Giving them the freedom to invoke that courage, man. And a lot of times, and I was telling this to I think my 14-year-old. I was like, man, a lot of times we get to a point in life where we stop being unstoppable, right? Like it's a decision. We choose it, right? And what I mean by that is we come into this world unstoppable, no limits, nothing can stop us. You think about a little baby, right? Little baby coming to this world, baby don't know nothing. Little baby, right? That little baby is gonna start trying things. And the little baby is not gonna stop trying things until they actually master those things. They're gonna start trying to lift their head up. They're not gonna stop. Like it may be hard for them to lift their head up. Little baby don't be like, you know what, man, lifting the head thing up is hard, man. I ain't doing that. Nah, little baby like, nah, I'm gonna keep doing it. And so they get to a point where little baby said, I think I can roll over. Little baby start rocking, trying to roll over, right? Little baby don't be like, this rolling over thing ain't for me, right? They keep doing it until they roll over, right? To the point now where they just getting up on their knees, right? Now they like, man, I can get up on all fours, and so on and so forth, right? Till they get to the point where they're crawling, right? They're crawling around. And something clicks in the little baby's head. Little baby's like, man, all these bigger people walking around. I'm down here on my knees. Baby, I need to stand up, right? And next thing you know, the baby standing up. Baby fall down. Baby don't fall down and be like, that standing up thing wasn't cool. I ain't doing that. Baby like, nah, I think I can stand up again. So the baby keep doing it. And eventually, the baby starts walking, right? The baby starts walking. We are born with that. We're born with that. That's a gift for us. We're born with the I won't quit, won't give up. I know I can have it. I know I can be it. I know I'm supposed to have it. We come with that. Like my pops say, straight from the factory. We come with that, right? Like when we're created and produced and brought into this world with that in us. But somewhere along the lines, we start suppressing that, whether it's from other people's ideas or other people's words or whatever it is. We start saying, no, I don't think I can do it. I think it's gonna be too hard. I don't think I'm good enough. I don't. We start utilizing doubt to neutralize our superpower that we came in the world with. You came in the world with a superpower, a super duper power, right? Like you came in the world with that. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, we start neutralizing it. We start making excuses. We start talking about how hard things are and how the economy is bad and how no one is hiring and how wages are low. We start talking about things that ain't got nothing to do with us. They ain't got nothing to do with me, right? I understand who I am, right? You have to understand who you are. You're supposed to have it. You're supposed to have it. Now, if you talk yourself out of it, then that's you doing a good sales job on yourself. You're doing a good sales job on yourself. But you don't have to do that. You can talk yourself in. I talk myself into things all the time, like, bro, like, yo, we going for the moon on this one. You know what I mean? We going all the way to the moon on this one. Like I'm talking myself into doing things I know is gonna be challenging. I know it's gonna be hard. And I know people are gonna doubt it. But I'm like, I can do it. I know I can do it. I know for a fact I can do it. Right. And so we have to lean in to our little baby self. Your little baby self knew how to actually enter into this world and do it its job. Now your big grown self gotta go back and connect to that, right? You gotta go back and connect to that. Like, man, I gotta go back and connect with my little baby self because my little baby self knew enough not to give up and not to quit on itself or not to quit on herself, right? And we have to tap back into that energy, right? To have that courage to understand that we are unstoppable when we decide to be what we want to be and we decide to do what we need to do when we decide to make a plan so that we can step into that vision. If you have things that you want out of life, start making your plan today. Start writing down all those gifts and talents that God's given you, all these abilities, all these skills you acquired over your life. Start writing that stuff down. What do I have? And then you just start looking at that and you will be amazed. You will be amazed at all the things that you have at your disposal. Your arsenal will look crazy. I'm telling you from experience, right? And so this process that I call the reinvention blueprint, man, it's like making sure that you understand that you can change everything. You have the power to change everything. You've been given the power. You don't have to ask for permission. You don't have to ask no more. You've been given the power to be what and who you want to be, right? Now it's on you. Ball in your court, ball is in your hand. Make a decision, right? Decide what you want to be and then start being it. And that's the answer, right? There's a lot of other little nuances to this whole process. And I've created a workbook for this too, because I understand that people need guidance along the way. But you can change everything in less than 30 days, man. You can change everything in less than 30 days. It don't take a lifetime. It does not take a lifetime. So don't let people fool you or don't fool yourself to think like, oh man, it's gonna take forever for me to change. No, you can change everything in less than 30 days. Once you tap into understanding how to deploy this courage and change your mindset around who you are. Because your identity doesn't change until this change, right? Once you change this, like once I changed my mind, once I changed how I saw myself, once I changed how I talk to myself, once I changed what my expectations was for myself, that was it. I knew I was unstoppable. It's like, oh man, this is like I expected something more from myself, right? I saw myself different. And even when people that knew me before communicated with me, they had to see me different. It's like, bro, like something's different, man. Like you're not the same person. It's like, no, I'm not. Like the goal is not to be the same person. The goal is to get better. The goal is to be who you want and need to be in life, right? And so we have to constantly get better and push ourselves and not let fear trap us in this little small corner of the world where we're in this little box and little bubble and we can't be what we want to be and we're miserable, we're unhappy, and we don't have the courage to get out of that. We have to tap into it. We have to tap into it. The more courageous you are, the further along you're going to get. And by the way, it's a lifetime of work, meaning you have become courageous enough to do one thing and you will become successful and you achieve some great things. And then you'll realize that there's something else, right? There's another thing in the way that's making me doubt something, and then you have to do it all over again, right? So it's a constant battle of making sure that you're invoking this courage to help you continue to build and build and build and build to get to where you want to be in life. And it's levels, right? It's just like going through school. You go through different grades. Each level comes with a different challenge, right? And so you devote yourself to a lifetime of invoking courage to get the things you want. And that to me is a great life to live. And so I think this is a perfect spot to put a pin in it and shut it down. I definitely appreciate everybody that hopped on the live. I couldn't see everyone's names that commented. I don't know if it's because of how StreamYard does things, but typically, I don't know what's the difference, but typically they show the comments with the names and everything, and usually I try to speak directly to the person that commented, but for whatever reason it didn't show. So if you did make a comment, just put your name under your comment so I can see who you were. That would be great. Um, and hopefully next time I hop on live, I'll be able to rectify that situation. But it's a beautiful day, beautiful opportunity per usual. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. Got some other work lined up that I have to knock out. But I appreciate the time. I appreciate the time. I am Corey Jackson. I tell you guys this all the time. Losing is a choice, but winning is a lifestyle. Until next time, let's keep working. I'll catch you guys on the next one.